The Daily Wisdom Podcast, Episode 12, Episode Title, Acres of Diamonds Beneath Our Feet. Welcome, my friends. I am Aaron Maxwell Montag, and this is the Daily Wisdom Podcast. Today, I want you to slow down for a moment. Breathe deeply and allow your mind to settle. Because sometimes the most powerful truths are not shouted from mountaintops. Sometimes they whisper quietly beneath the surface of ordinary life, waiting for someone wise enough to notice. There is an old story made famous by Russell H. Conwell, a story about a farmer who lived on a modest piece of land. Nothing glamorous, nothing extraordinary, just soil beneath his feet, a stream running through the property, and the simple rhythms of daily life. But the farmer began to hear stories of diamonds, great diamonds, fortunes hidden in distant lands, rivers sparkling with wealth somewhere beyond the horizon. And the more he listened to those stories, the more dissatisfied he became with the land beneath his own feet. You can almost see the process happening in his mind. At first, curiosity, then comparison, then discontent. Eventually, he became convinced that the treasure he sought must be somewhere else. So he sold the farm and set out across the world searching for those diamonds. He searched deserts, he searched mountains, he searched distant lands, but the diamonds never appeared. Exhausted, discouraged, disillusioned, the man eventually died poor and broken. Meanwhile, the man who bought the farm made a simple discovery one afternoon. Walking along the small stream that ran through the property, he noticed a strange black stone reflecting sunlight in the water. He picked it up. It was a diamond. Soon more were discovered, then more, and eventually that quiet farm became one of the richest diamond fields in the world. Now pause there. Let that story rest in your mind. Because the question that echoes through history is not merely about that farmer. The real question is about us. How many people spend their lives searching across the world for opportunity, while standing on acres of diamonds they have never learned to recognize? Scripture whispers this same truth in Proverbs 4:7. Wisdom is the principal thing, therefore get wisdom, and with all thy getting, get understanding. Notice what wisdom does. Wisdom changes what you see. Two people can stand on the same piece of land. One sees dirt, the other sees opportunity. Two people can look at the same community. One sees limitation, the other sees potential. Two people can walk through the same neighborhood. One sees struggle, the other sees diamonds waiting to be discovered. The difference is not location, the difference is perception, and perception begins in the mind. The Apostle Paul tells us in Romans 12:2, be transformed by the renewing of your mind. And when vision changes, opportunity begins to appear where others saw nothing. Now imagine this with me. Imagine a community awakening to this truth. Imagine neighbors who begin to realize that talent is a diamond, ideas are diamonds, entrepreneurial creativity is a diamond, land is a diamond, networks of people working together, those are diamonds. When a community begins to recognize these things, something subtle begins to shift in the atmosphere. The conversation changes. People begin asking different questions. Instead of asking, who will save us, they begin asking, what treasure has God already placed among us? And that question begins to awaken possibility. You see, God has never been in the habit of creating people without also placing resources within reach. From the beginning of creation, God declared in Genesis 1:28, be fruitful, multiply, replenish the earth, subdue it, have dominion. Dominion means responsibility. Dominion means recognizing the potential God has already placed in your hands. Sometimes the diamond is not hidden across the ocean. Sometimes it is hidden beneath your feet. Sometimes it is hidden inside your mind. Sometimes it is hidden inside your community. And the moment a person begins to recognize that possibility, something fascinating begins to happen inside the subconscious mind. Hope awakens, vision expands, and people begin to move differently. They begin to look for wisdom. They begin to search for ideas. They begin to gather knowledge that strengthens their ability to see opportunity where others see obstacles. Because wisdom does something extraordinary. Wisdom trains the mind to recognize diamonds. And when you begin to recognize diamonds, you start noticing them everywhere. In books, in ideas, in conversations, in strategies, in communities, learning how to grow together. And that is why wisdom has always been something worth seeking. Sometimes wisdom appears quietly. like a voice standing on the street corner, inviting people to listen. Sometimes wisdom shows up in the pages of a book. Sometimes wisdom appears in the form of an idea that changes the way you see your own potential. And when a person begins exploring wisdom like that, they often discover something remarkable. They discover that the diamonds they were searching for were never far away. They were waiting for someone wise enough to recognize them. So today, as you go about your day, carry this thought with you. Look around, look carefully, look again, because you may discover that the ground beneath your feet, the people around you, the ideas forming in your mind, may be far more valuable than you once imagined. And sometimes the first step toward discovering those diamonds begins with a simple act: seeking wisdom, learning, exploring ideas that open your eyes to possibilities you had never considered before. Because once wisdom opens your eyes, you never see the world the same way again. And when that happens, my friend, you may just realize that you have been standing on acres of diamonds all along. Get your copy of The Diamond Mind in your grasps when you purchase the West Philadelphia Billionaire Society at mx3motivationalbooks.com. Get yours today. Get copies for people you truly love. Thank you for listening. I am Aaron Maxwell Montag, and this has been the Daily Wisdom Podcast. Until next time, keep seeking wisdom, keep recognizing diamonds, and keep discovering the treasure that God has already placed within your reach.